back to another GCSE chemistry video by SMARTPATHTUTORING. This one is on specifically metals and non-metals. Most elements are considered metals. Metals are elements which can form positive ions when they react. They're towards the bottom and to the left of the periodic table. Most elements in the periodic table are metals. Non-metals are at the far right and top of the periodic table. Non-metals don't generally form positive ions when they react. The electronic structure of atoms affects how they will react. Atoms generally react to form a full outer shell. They do this via losing, gaining, or sharing electrons. Metals to the left of the periodic table don't have many electrons to remove, and metals towards the bottom of the periodic table have outer electrons which are a long way from the nucleus, so they feel a weaker attraction. Both these effects mean that not much energy is needed to remove the electrons, so it's feasible for the elements to react to form positive ions with a full outer shell. For nonmetals, forming positive ions is much more difficult. This is as they are either to the right of the periodic table, where they have lots of electrons to remove to get a full outer shell, or towards the top, where the outer electrons are close to the nucleus, so feel a strong attraction. It's far more feasible for them to either share or gain electrons to gain a full outer shell. Metals and non-metals have different physical properties. All metals have metallic bonding, which causes them to have similar basic physical properties. For example, they're strong, hard to break, but can be bent or hammered into different shapes, malleable. They're great at conducting heat and electricity, and they have high boiling and melting points. As nonmetals don't have metallic bonding, they don't tend to exhibit the same properties as metals. They tend to be dull-looking, more brittle, aren't always solids at room temperature, don't generally conduct electricity, and often have a lower density. Transition metals can be found between group 2 and group 3. These transition metals are in the center of the periodic table. Transition metals are typical metals and have the properties you would expect of a proper metal. For example, they're good conductors of heat and electricity, and they're very dense, strong, and shiny. Transition metals also have some pretty special properties, which is on the next slide. Transition metals can have more than one ion. For example, copper forms Cu+ and Cu2+ ions. Cobalt forms Cu2+ ions and Cu3+ ions. Transition metal ions are often colored, and so compounds that contain them are colorful. For example, potassium chromate, Vi, which is yellow, potassium manganate is purple. Transition metal compounds often make good catalysts, things that speed up the rate of a reaction. For example, a nickel-based catalyst is used in the hydrogenation of alkenes, and an iron catalyst is used in the Haber process for making ammonia. And that's the end of the video. I hope that you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe.